Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 32, I hope. Episode 32 of The Sports Desk with yours truly, Mr. Splashman, or Ryan, whatever the heck you want to call me. I'm joined, as always, with Jack. He's over there. I got the direction right. And Stefan down over yonder. How's it going, guys?
It's going
pretty fun.
Good.
It's pretty good. We had preseason football last week, so that was enjoyable.
Yeah,
so close. So close.
Yeah. You know what else is enjoyable? I'd like to think when people watch our stream, they enjoy it. So make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow Stadium on Twitter and on Instagram. Make sure you download the app. If you don't have the app and you know who we are, hey, we are a part of an app called Stadium. It's pretty cool. Come join us. We have a lot of new things coming out. And also, if you want to support our channel, if you love our content, you can send us super chats now. You can send us super stickers. And also, one thing we do have is a Venmo. So if you are listening to us on Periscope / Twitter, Facebook, or Twitch, you can go at @UStadium_1 or UStadium Sports and just say, hey, here's $10 to the Sports Desk crew, or to Frankie and Nick's crew with Timeout, or the Dolphins Dive, or our SF 49ers, whatever it may be. All donations are much appreciated. I can't talk today, but that's okay. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and let's start off with a bang. I don't know how to follow that.
Yeah, we're starting with a bang.
Actually, I guess we could start with some jabs. We have a breaking news question mark. The Atlanta Falcons have a 100% vaccination rate. They're the first team in the NFL to hit that mark.
Jab, I see what you did there.
Yeah, jab. Yow. So congratulations, I guess. I mean, depending on how you feel about the vaccine, cool. They don't have to worry about vaccine protocols because everyone's vaccinated. So good job, Falcons. You follow the NFL rules. But some NFL rules are a little dumb. And I want to break into a certain taunting rule that I really don't like. And these are grown men being paid to play football. Please explain to me how this rule makes any sense.
That was so the example that we saw, I think it was the Carolina game. Mm-hmm. That was soft. That was insanely soft. Like, what did he do? He got up and celebrated, but just because he was facing the opposing player, like he would something like that. Whatever he did, but just because he was facing, just because he was facing the direction of the opposing player, he gets a penalty, and that screws his team.
Yeah,
taunting is very. At this point, it feels like it's a very subjective rule, like where you have to like, as the referee, by your own judgment, did this guy like take it too far?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and like, what if you're saying something? Like, what if, like, remember the Roosevelt Knicks fake first down against the Saints in 2018? What if he's like doing the first down thing and like saying "F you" to the guy that tried to tackle him? Is the ref just going to throw a flag? Like, what? And there was a really dumb one in the Ravens game. Baltimore had a stop on like a 3rd and 19, something like longer than 15 yards. And then you see, I forget who the corner was, but he like jumps up. And then Mr. Referee over here just throws his yellow flag up in the air. Did you know those are filled with popcorn? Like unpopped popcorn?
Oh, yeah, like beanbag
really?
stuff. Pretty much.
Yeah, for real. And I was like, come on now. That is the softest pen. I could go into the bathroom, grab some Charmin, and the penalty that was called is softer than my friggin' Charmin toilet paper.
You could use the flag.
It was an automatic first
much.
down, too. So, yeah, automatic first down on a 3rd and 20. I'm sure John Harbaugh wanted to sucker punch everyone involved. But, oh, man. Stefan, what do you think about the taunting rules?
To me, it just didn't look right. You know, like it's you have a player who's excited. And to be honest, against that Carolina team, he trucked the defense and he earned, a little bit of flex, but it's not like, it's like in the NBA. When you're watching a finals game and you see the ref not calling some blatant calls, you go, okay, they're letting him play. And like you said, are they going to just sit there and just start throwing flags left and right? Are they going to just like
every move the chains? Like,
yeah, like Brady does the whole thing.
If Gronk spikes the football, is that a penalty?
If somebody spins the football, Like they get up and they like they drop the ball and they spin it like a top. Is that a penalty now?
It's like the Wes Welker thing when he did Snow Angel in the snow back a while back and got a flag for it. It's like, what are they gonna do? Are they just gonna touchdown? Okay, touchdown here, hand the ball, fumble here, hand the ball. Like it's gotta be fun. You're getting paid millions, and I hope at the end of the preseason that Goodell looks at it and has like a meeting with the refs. Like, listen, let it go if it goes beyond a 5-second taunt where like he's doing this but he's over that guy. Get called that. But if you're telling me that some third string back is running the ball 10 yards and he power trucks to a guy, he can't flex for 2 seconds, get up, and then go away without being flagged.
Exactly.
Come on, NFL.
Let him enjoy the moment. Let him celebrate a little bit, but don't. As long as they don't take it too far, is the thing too. Like obviously, if we see something incredibly egregious, then sure, call it. Like if it's not, like if he doesn't like do what Randy Moss did, pretty much. Like then
that is the best moment in NFL history.
That is a disgusting act.
For the uninitiated, search Randy Moss. Monday Night Football. Al Michaels. Randy Moss touchdown Monday Night Football.
Was it? I don't think it was Al Michaels. I think it was Joe Buck.
Oh, you're right. Was it Michaels and Buck?
I think it was just Joe Buck. I think it was just Joe Buck.
I do think it was a Monday night game though.
Whatever.
It was the main.
Bottom line,
game
just Google the Randy Moss celebration. We'll leave it at that.
Top one of all time. Actually, number 2. Besides that one time the Ravens failed to do the mannequin challenge against the Dolphins. That was so stupid. Or maybe it was the Browns. I don't remember. With that said, when I think of this taunting rule, I can just imagine like, I don't know, a 40-yard deep ball and like some corner makes a spectacular play and it's like third and forever. And he gets up and like, yeah, woo, what a play. And then the refs just like 15 yards.
Sorry, buddy. We're going back.
The thing that comes to mind for me is I don't know why I still remember this, was when the Rams in their playoff game against Seattle this past season, they got a defensive stop and Aaron Donald just starts screaming like he's not doing anything else. He just screams, yeah, like right in DK Metcalf's face. Not right in his face, but like at him. Like he's looking at him, just going, yeah, like right at him. And it's like, that's the kind of thing that's going to get called now. Oh boy.
Funny.
That's a no fun league for you though.
Yeah, good old no fun league. Was it Andrew Hawkins on the Browns that had like caught a touchdown, walked in the end zone, and like robot turned around and just handed the ball to the ref?
I don't remember.
So. I don't know if it was Andrew Hawkins, but it was some Hawkins on the Browns. Probably it was a top 3 celebration ever because he did nothing. But imagine, yeah, was it Leonard Floyd that tore his ACL on like a sack?
No,
Stephen Tulloch.
Yeah, that's right. I'm thinking the Bears guy that did it when they were down 40 to New England. But imagine that, like you sack the quarterback, it goes to a 4th down, you run back, you celebrate.
Oh God,
flag
getting injured
on a first down, and then tears his ACL.
Getting injured.
Horror story there.
That
getting injured on a celebration, whether it gets called or not, is just terrible.
Or it's like
Bill Grammar,
the Raiders game. Who was it on the Raiders game where it was Justin Tuck? I just watched the other day where they sack Alex Smith and and it's like 4th down. And they're like trying to run the ball. He's over here like 5 yards off the field celebrating, and Justin Tuck's like, get over here! And they run the ball and they had to take a timeout. And Justin Tuck is eating it, like just chewing this guy out about it. Like I'll never forget that.
That's funny. Or my favorite is Gus Frerotte headbutted the walls around the stadium at, I think, RFK. And then Bill Grammatica tore his ACL celebrating a first quarter field goal. So, yeah, note to self, don't celebrate in the NFL. You will get fined and you could tear your ACL. So, bad idea. The No Fun League strikes again. So, one thing I think this is a solid transition point. One thing another league did that was fun was the Field of Dreams game.
Oh, yes.
Major League Baseball. Just
talk about thumbs up or thumbs down. That's a thumbs up.
Dub.
The dub column.
Yeah. That is going in that Braves column. They've won like 10 in a row. They're leading the NL East for the first time all season. I am so happy. But the Field of Dreams game, Yankees, White Sox, even if it wasn't in Iowa, even if Kevin Costner wasn't there, even if the setting wasn't perfect, Worlds of Costner, not mine, it was a darn good baseball game.
Oh my goodness, that was
The
enjoyable.
baseball quality off the charts, banger. But the setting, I haven't even seen Field of Dreams, and I was getting like
Me neither.
goosebumps. Okay, he's shocked. I was getting.
I've seen clips of it.
I'm getting just goosebumps, just like looking at Giancarlo Stanton in the corn. Just the aesthetic. The aesthetic of the game was perfect. Even if the White Sox won 25-0, the aesthetic of the game was perfect. Everything on Major League Baseball's end was perfect.
That's exactly what you're going for, too. Then the White Sox and
Yankees played the game of the year.
That's exactly what you're going for, too, with that whole thing. And it's like...
Go ahead, sorry.
You like when I saw Kevin Costner walking onto the field out of the corn, I was like, how else are they going to introduce the players? Like you would think like that's the only way they're going to be able to do it is just they somehow have these players walking through the corn, and then they start doing it from like a wide shot or something from the field that looks like it kind of looks like the movie in a way where like the players are walking out from the corn, and it's like then they do an aerial shot, then you can see like all the players huddled in like the back of the field, like getting ready to go through the corn and walk out. That was funny, but it was still
like
cool.
Like a youth football, like running through the
exactly. Where you can see them walk up into the tunnel before they enter or whatever. But from the field, it looked tremendous. Mm-hmm. I think they pulled off exactly what they were trying to pull off. The game itself only added on to that. Like the fact that it was a good game only helped it too. I remember actually I missed a good chunk of it too because I got up for a little bit to go do whatever, and then I come back and it's like, wait, weren't the Yankees just down like 4 runs?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then
Liam Hendricks just explodes in the 9th. That's like, what? Just an incredible game. And again, I talked about the aesthetic. The jerseys were gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
the on-field Fox strap. Oh my goodness,
Fox.
Like,
I usually
right there.
I usually slander Fox graphics. Like I don't think they do a good job at all. They killed that one.
Mm-hmm.
Their NFL graphics are fine. There are other ones that would suck. But
yeah, big W there for Fox. Big W there for Major League Baseball. And big W to Tim Anderson.
Didn't hate Joe Buck in this game. I'm gonna be real. I thought Joe Buck called a fine game.
I think he's
wait till week 1 of the season, then you'll go back to it.
The thing about baseball,
he's good at
though,
baseball. Football, I think he's
Suspect.
really, really good at baseball.
The thing about
just the energy level, he lets the crowd play the role that the crowd should play. You know, in the NFL, he tries to do the same thing, and I appreciate that. Like Diggs, sideline, touch. Did he say touchdown?
He did.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Sideline touchdown. That's
right
3. Just perfect. And then the Randy Moss thing, notwithstanding. I think Joe Buck is generally good, but he gets a bad rap for not being as enthusiastic.
Sometimes he's not as enthusiastic. Like I remember in the Mitchell.
Yeah, he does that one too.
But I remember the Rams Patriots game last year. Kenny Young had like an 82-yard pick six, and he was just
legend, Kenny Young.
talking like really like dull like this. But the thing about baseball is that there's a lot of standing around doing nothing while the pitches happens, and baseball commentators kind of tend to talk about whatever during that period. Like, obviously, he's still calling the game. He'll, like, mention, like, this pitch is a strike or whatever you say. But, like, they're not, like, baseball, it doesn't really get energetic unless it's, like, a really intense moment or somebody hits a home run or some other kind of crazy play happens. Mm-hmm. So I can forgive him a little bit for not maybe being as energetic. I've said in the past, I think he's better with football than he is with baseball.
Ooh.
I think this game, though, kind of flip-flop.
Okay.
That opinion in my mind.
I know it probably brings up bad memories, but Game 4 of the World Series, the Rose Arena, the Rose Arena just sends me to the moon every time I listen to it. And you guys ended up winning the series, so it doesn't matter. But,
hey, I'm not mad about it. I don't care.
Just not even like a voice crack, just the voice roller coaster of a Rose Arena.
A Rose.
It was beautiful. So shout out to Joe Buck. You've made baseball enjoyable for me.
Hall of Famer Joe Buck, by the way. He won the what's it called? The Pete Roselle Award, something like that.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what it's called. I could be misquoting it.
Man, I barely know like hockey MVPs. I don't know broadcasting MVPs.
That's a whole different tier of knowledge.
Yeah, Pete Roselle Award. I just Googled it.
Other than that one time I went on Dan's show and got all the hockey questions right, and he wanted to slap me through the screen.
He gave.
That was so.
I find that funny how he gave you all the hockey questions, and I was I there?
I don't think so. I think it was.
I should have been there for that.
I think it was Mike and I. So shout out to Mike, shout out to Dan. But yeah, I just went ham. It was not Bobby Orr. Oh my goodness.
Gretzky.
No, it was like 1930s. Ernie Shore. It was like the only defenseman to win MVP, something like that. And it was Ernie Shore or Eddie Shore. Ernie Shore.
Eddie Shore sounds more accurate.
I think it's what Shore. Shore for the Chicago Blackhawks or Chicago Redacteds. Or they have to change.
They're going to stick with Blackhawks. They're going to stick with. They've already put out a statement saying that they're going to stick with it.
Okay. Oh, I think we should move
tangent.
On. Yeah, that was a pretty solid tangent. Do I want to go? Yeah. Wow. Do we want to go into thumbs up, thumbs down?
Let me get the thing up real quick.
We're waiting all week. That thumbs up just been ready to go.
Yeah, just that thumb in one, and two, and three.
You know how you exercise your thumbs? You play video games all day.
Yes.
Play Madden. Madden's coming out in a couple weeks. There you go.
Stay tuned, by the way, because I plan on maybe incorporating a little Madden into this once I get it. I'm trying to get it for the PC, so.
Okay.
Patreon could help with that, by the way. Venmo, whatever it is.
What system do you play on, Jack?
Normally Xbox, but I'm going to get this one on PC.
Ooh.
Say, if you wanted the sticks one day, let me know.
Ooh. Is that a challenge?
I'll give you a...
I've been playing Madden 21 the last week and a half, and I swear, I don't know, people are just bad now or what? Because
I was playing Madden 22 earlier. I got EA Play,
EA Access,
free trial.
EA Play, whatever. I
had the dumbest game in the history of the NFL. So Chiefs, Bucks, right?
Oh boy,
I'm gonna play as Tampa.
Super Bowl.
I get Brady. So I go down and score. Or I stop the Bucks. I go down and score. Awesome, 7-0. Then I just can't tackle me. Score easy, man. And I just cool, 7-7. Then a minute left in the half. Great, everything's going well. I'm driving down the field. Do. Great. I have a 30-yard field goal. Doink. Chiefs walk right back down the field, score, and I'm down 14-7 going into the half. So it's 4-minute quarters. So I go down the field, dink, 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 dink. I really like using Brady. I know I usually like to use the more athletic quarterbacks so I can at least have at least something if the play breaks down. I didn't need to use it with Brady. I did get sacked once early, but I didn't need to use it with Brady. Boom, 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 boom. 15-14 because I went for 2 because I don't really trust.
I always go for 2.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. So it's 15-14. I get a stop. Great. I had 2 dropped interceptions on the drive, but whatever. I go down and score again. 23-14. 2 minutes left. Sounds good, right? Chiefs go walking down the field. Great. 23-17. They kick a field goal. 30 seconds left. Onside kick. I forgot to do the onside recovery.
Oh, no.
I ran into the ball, kicked it right into a Chiefs player's hands. Mahomes gets the ball. Boom, 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 boom. They score with 8 seconds left. And I'm like, so they kick it deep. I'm returning the kick with Jordan Mickens. Gets out to the 25. And then I'm thinking, I'm not going to call a Hail Mary here. I'm just going to call a normal pass play, but send Mike Evans, who I've activated his X Factor now, so maybe there's a chance. Cool. So I activated his X Factor is activated, and I just launched one, 50 yards downfield, 44 yards downfield, defensive pass interference. I get an untimed down, kick a field goal, win the game 26-24.
How do you get defensive pass interference?
That is called
broke the controller.
If
that was playing you.
Yeah, well, I mean, granted, you probably would be playing prevent defense, not. I guess they were playing cover 2. It was just they didn't actually. Maybe not even cover 2. It was they had no one deep. It had one guy deep, and then everyone else is around the line of scrimmage. What are you doing?
As long as you don't go on Hail Mary. If they don't go to Hail Mary, if you don't have to Hail Mary play, they won't go 3 deep. But if you go from 4 verticals where it's intermediate, they won't play 3 deep. It's kind of a bad glitch, but hey, it worked for you.
Come on now. I have one deep guy and on the last play of the game and no one's playing. I had 4 seconds left. 4 seconds left. But one of my greatest comebacks ever in any sports video game. I wanted to share that, and I almost blew it. I almost blew it. So with that,
I actually got to show Jack and you guys a video with Aaron Donald. He reminded me. I'll send it to you guys later.
Training with knives.
Was he training with knives?
He had a pick 6 for me.
Oh,
he got a pick 6. I've done that before. Not really a pick 6, but like a fumble recovery.
It was a screen pass too. The guy tried to do a screen pass, and Aaron Donald is just unbeatable. Like I just shoved the tackle, and he just catches it and just runs. I'm like, yes.
Beautiful. I was watching Kevin Williams highlights earlier today, and he had like 2 or 3 passes in the clip that he'd like batted up in the air, caught it, and like runs 30 yards. And then he's like 320 pounds, so it's like rumbling, bumbling, something.
Big man plays.
The eternally underrated Kevin Williams. Shout out to the Minnesota Vikings.
All right, should we get into thumbs up, thumbs down?
Now let's do it. My thumb is prepared.
All right. This last week we did the playoff teams. Will they make it back or not? This week we're gonna do all the non-playoff teams. Thumbs up if they will make it into the postseason. Thumbs down if they don't. I said it wrong last week. This week I'm getting it right.
Oh wow! I didn't realize you said it wrong.
Yeah, I was talking too quickly. Okay. Miami Dolphins.
I'm sorry. I think they go 9-8.
I believe so as well.
I think they fall into another situation kind of similar to last time where it's out of their hands.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is unfortunate, but yeah, that's just kind of where it fell to.
I don't think they're a bad team. I just think New England is gaining a lot of momentum. And
speaking of New England, they're next on the list. Patriots.
I think they do.
I just don't.
I think they squeak in. I think they squeak in.
Wild card at least.
Although I think I'm going to end up with like 10 playoff teams because I think 5.5 last week because I had Pittsburgh like based on a tiebreaker and then I said no to the Colts.
I don't remember who I said yes or no to. So
okay, that's okay. That's okay. We don't have to.
I could be messing it up. Easiest one on the list: Jets.
Whoop-bam.
I should have done that. I should have been like that. Like
yeah. Although you're the team that lost the Jets.
I know, but I'm still gonna shit on them. Bengals.
I like Burrow. I like Burrow a lot more than I should like Burrow, but
their defense is just not.
No. Trey Hendrickson was number 73 in the top 100. Trey Hendrickson.
Here's another easy one. Texans.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Even if I'm forgetting his name.
Plays, I don't see it even with Watson.
Yeah. God, these are all like pretty relatively easy.
Most of them are like kind of crappy teams.
Jags.
I have the video that said they might. I do have the video that said if Lawrence is like better than Andrew Luck in 2012, maybe.
If he's that guy, if he is that dude.
But he might not be, so who knows?
Raiders.
He had that ready. Splash was ready to go with that one.
The Raiders are one of the worst teams in football. I love Derek Carr. I love Lawler. Jacobs is overrated, but what are your defense? What even is your defense?
Who is who?
Give me one guy. Where? Why? How? So I will say I did get a comment on our last video that. Or on the Trevon Merrick video that I made that Gus Bradley is now the DC. I believe that's right. So he'll have some more competence. So I think Gunter was the last DC. Maybe, but you still have crappy personnel. So I don't know.
They did nothing with those draft picks, man. With those draft picks,
Merrick is nice. Leatherwood was a waste. Not a waste. He should be good, but I think he's a better guard than tackle. But you're taking him with the 17th pick. What are you doing?
All right. We're gonna move on. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Chargers.
Okay.
I'm tempted. I'm gonna go with yes.
I think it's a tiebreaker thing with Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Also, I want to see them on special teams.
Good
we
point.
know they've improved on offense.
Just pause. Your team lost the Chargers in a preseason
game. Splash.
How are you feeling losing the first game with fans at SoFi Stadium to the quote unquote inferior LA team?
Listen, we won the crowd matchup and we won the uniform matchup. That's all that matters in the preseason. That's objective, obviously, but in my mind, that's how it went. But that's how you know it's preseason, because we just lost to the Chargers, and I'm not freaking out and whining and crying and everything. So
okay, happens. Yeah, I think so. I think the Patriots get in over the Colts, and then Chargers and Steelers.
That's going to come down to top. Again, I want to see them on special teams. We know their offense is better. We know their defense is better. We know they have a more competent head coach. They
actually have a real offensive line for once.
Exactly.
Yep.
Corey Linsley on the top 100.
Slater.
I'm going to go.
A little high.
I got to go.
Frank Ragnow better, though.
Bottom line, I want to see them do better on special teams, because that we've seen it before with this franchise. That has been make or break for them. So,
yes, it has.
Chargers Rams Super Bowl?
No.
That would be the.
I would. Everyone would whine
goodness.
about that. A Chargers Rams Super Bowl at SoFi Stadium.
That would be legendary.
I would cry. If either tears of joy or tears of pain. Broncos.
Okay.
Do we need to say his name?
I'm giving that.
All right. I was talking to Stefan about this earlier. Splash's PSA for the day. I can't believe I'm saying this, but there is a chance that Drew Lock isn't QB 32, and not because he doesn't start, but there is a chance that Drew Lock is better than QB 32. And let me explain. So one thing I look for in quarterbacks is your ability to make that big time throw. Literally a big time throw. Mm-hmm. But your ability to make that play. When you need to make a play, can you make the play? Drew Lock can unequivocally make that play as well as any of the top tier guys. Like he had a higher big time throw rate than Josh Allen last year. He had a higher big time throw rate than MVP Lamar Jackson did. He was like 7th in big time throw rate. Now, granted, I get it, but Lock can make those throws. He can do it. The issue comes when you match that when has one of the highest turnover worthy play percentages in the NFL. That's the issue. That's why Lamar Jackson, for instance, took a step back in 2020. That's why I think Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes, because Mahomes has some of those. What are you doing, Mahomes? Why are you throwing it to AJ Terrell? Come on. Why? Rodgers never has those. He has maybe like one every other week tops, and Mahomes has one every half, it seems like. So there's a trance. There is a chance Drew Lock is a competent quarterback in 2021. If there was like a Josh Allen candidate, Lock is the obvious one, but I can actually see some of it because he has so many high-end plays that if you just erase, I don't want to say erase, but if he just doesn't make that decision on a couple of the bad ones, and he has, 6.5% turnover or 6.5% big time throw rate and like a 3% turnover worthy play rate, that's like what Josh Allen did last year. Josh Allen I was getting yelled at in the comments about Josh Allen 2 days ago for saying, yeah, the contract is a steal, great value. And then it's like, oh, well, how did you say it was bad in 2019? Come on now. Sam Darnold had a winning record in 2019. Calm down, please. So there's a chance Drew Lock is a competent starter. And I want to acknowledge that because I don't want to say I'm wrong by saying Drew Lock is quarterback 31 or 32 with Sam Darnold, but I do want to acknowledge there is potential there, and he has shown some good moments. Now, I bash him for the decision-making and the bad moments, absolutely, but Drew Lock might be a competent quarterback next season. He might be a top 20 quarterback potentially, and you have Cortland Sutton, and you have Tim Patrick is their wide receiver 4 for crying out loud. KJ Hamler looked unbelievable against Minnesota. Granted, it's Minnesota's secondary, but hey, it's cool. And then you throw in Jerry Jeudy, you throw in Alberto, you throw in Noah Fant, you throw in Melvin Gordon, you throw in Javonte Williams, you throw in that other running back that I can't remember the name of, and you throw in a pretty good offensive line. I would not be surprised if Drew Lock ends the season as like a top 25 to 20 quarterback. Could he be higher? Sure, but I need to see that dip in turnover-worthy plays right now. Because last year it was like 6.7% good and 4.4% bad, which doesn't sound awful, but when you're wiping out almost 2/3 of your good throws with an awful throw, and in general those awful throws are, I don't want to say more bad, but I think it's the like an interception is more bad than a touchdown is good. Would you guys tend to agree?
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm of the mindset that I would rather have a quarterback that's low in both than high in both. But if Drew Lock has like even a 6% big time throw rate and like a 3% turnover worthy play rate, he could be a top 20 quarterback. And I want to throw it out there because I am a known Drew Lock hater, and I will believe it when I see it. I will still have him as QB 32 week 1, assuming he starts. Actually, assuming he starts and Jameis Winston starts, so I don't have to put him over Taysom. Actually, I don't even. That's a story for another time. But, anyways, there's my Drew Lock bet today.
All right, I think we move on. The New York Giants.
Giants?
I think Daniel Jones is in the same boat as Drew Lock. I'm gonna say no, though.
I'm gonna say no because of Washington, but I think it might be a little bit closer than we think.
It's gonna be the NFC crapshoot we always see.
Yeah, the NFC least, baby. Let's go. Okay.
Speaking of the NFC least, Cowboys. Gonna go with an emphatic double thumbs down.
Now, hey,
look. With it.
Okay, here we go. They're going to beat Tampa week 1. Everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, Dallas is back. Oh, yeah,
Super Bowl.
Dallas is back, baby. Dak is going to win MVP. Dak is going to win comeback player of the year. Now, Dak is actually going to win comeback player of the year because, let's be real here, it's more of a story than an actually playing good. Shout out to Alex Smith. Even Ben Roethlisberger would have been the second because Ben wasn't, like, great. He was, whatever. But, oh, yeah, big-time quarterback coming. Dallas will beat Tampa week 1 and then finish with a losing record the rest of the season. Which I do.
Is that a hot take already? Are we doing hot takes?
I don't know. I don't feel great about it because Dak hasn't played since week 5 and he's not going to play in the preseason, and Tampa has a really, really, really good
also,
secondary.
Isn't Dallas being like really cryptic about him on Twitter?
Well, also Hard Knocks. If you see Hard Knocks, they're being so really fragile with him, and I don't know, because I see Mike McCarthy, and I said it last week on Hard Knocks when I watched it. I don't think he actually respects Mike McCarthy. I don't really think he actually, truly, because I watched him, no, you're not going to practice. He goes, what are you doing out here? Go back into the training room, get help, heal up. And Dak's like, oh, yeah, So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that team and Dak, because I think Dak wants to be out there, but also I think he's rushing to go out there, and they just don't want him to get hurt.
For sure.
So I don't know. Sure. It's definitely interesting there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it with Dallas. I know people are really high on their offense. I am too, but that defense is putrid.
Yeah, I need to see more of their defense, pretty much.
Yeah. Right.
Eagles.
I love me some Jalen Hurts.
They're the worst team in the NFC East, I believe.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Fully agree. Where are we at? Vikings. This is
that defense looks that it just I don't trust that defense. Secondary. I just think that Rodgers is gonna do what Rodgers does. I think they miss it maybe by a game or two, but that offense is that offense. Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Kirk Cousins is gonna be Kirk Cousins at the end of the day. He's gonna have 3 games where he does no interceptions, 3 games he throws four touchdowns. It's like
okay. I have a trivia question for you.
Okay.
Name the 2 quarterbacks in 2020 to have 15 games with a 90 passer rating. So all but one.
Josh Allen.
No.
Kirk Cousins.
Allen had a couple stinkers. Kirk Cousins is correct. His only stinker, he had like a 15 passer rating. He had 3 picks. No touchdowns against maybe Green Bay week 2.
Is the other one Rodgers?
Yeah, the other one is Rodgers.
Okay. You said Green Bay, so I was like, it's Rodgers.
Yeah, so, Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. So, there's your Kirk Cousins stat of the day. But, I don't know. I am more optimistic about the defense than I think a lot of people are because you are getting back Michael Pierce, who is one of the top 120 players in football. You're getting Dalvin Tomlinson, who was awesome last year. And I think they can actually coexist, which is weird because they're 2 interior defensive linemen, and not all interior defensive linemen can coexist. But I think they can, and they will. Danielle Hunter is back, and I think people just forget how freaking amazing he is at football.
He is insane.
I was getting bashed for having him too low in my top 100. He was a player that played 0 snaps in 2020, and I still put him in my top 100. Let's put that into perspective. That he played 0 snaps in 2020, and he's still a top 100 player. So shout out to Daniel Hunter. I heard a story out of Vikings camp that he was going against Brian O'Neill, their the right tackle, like pretty solid right tackle, and he beat him on a move.
Oh boy!
And O'Neill was like, "What the heck was that?" And Daniel Hunter just threw his arms up and had no idea. So it's like on that Aaron Donald happens. Trains with knives. It's Daniel Hunter doesn't know what pass rush movie he's doing, but he's so good at football that he does it, and it makes sense and it works.
And it makes the other guy go like, "What the heck?"
It just works. So shout out to Daniel Hunter. Jeff Gladney is out of there. So also Eric Kendricks is linebacker 1.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You know,
I don't know why
coverage. He is unbelievable. Like Warner's up there for sure, but Eric Kendricks, from an ability to defend people, that's a weird way of putting it. Eric Kendricks is so dominant as a coverage linebacker that it makes the Vikings almost immune to like variation. So I've talked a lot about volatility, right? Mm-hmm. And this is a point that I got from that franchise guy on YouTube, that the Vikings with Kendricks in the lineup have been a top 5 red zone defense and a top 5 third down defense. Like every year he's been there. Third down defense fluctuates like crazy. Red zone defense fluctuates like crazy. This is the same Vikings team that had a legendarily good, maybe the best ever third down defense in 2017. That was unsustainable. Everyone's like, okay, they're going to come back to earth. They've been that good in the last 3 years. And then when Kendricks got hurt at the end of last season, they were the worst third down defense in the NFL. And they were a objectively bad defense, but Kendricks made everything work on third down. Darius Leonard isn't doing that. Fred Warner, as much as he's awesome, he's not doing that. Eric Kendricks is turning a bad defense into a top 5 situational defense. And there's, I don't want to say no one can do that because Aaron Donald does some stupid things in the Rams and it just works. But for a position that's generally like you don't care about, a linebacker, Kendricks is the best linebacker in football. And look, I know Leonard has all the stats. I know he has all those tackles. I know he does this. I know he does that. But he can't cover like Eric Kendricks can. He just can't. He just can't. The only guy in the NFL that can cover even 90% of what Kendricks can is Fred Warner. And Fred Warner, while awesome, is not changing the fundamental volatility of a defense. What Kendricks is doing is like what Mahomes does offensively in terms of producing under pressure. That is one of the things that is volatile every year. You look back the last 5 or 6 years, the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in under pressure, like PFF grade, for instance, they change. It's Breeze 1 year, Brady 1 year, Rodgers 1 year, Mahomes 1 year. The 2 exceptions, Mahomes has been, I believe, top 10 every year he's been in the league. Lamar Jackson has been top 10 every year he's been in the league, but some of that's rushing production as well. No one does that. No one does that, and this is one reason why I think Herbert falls off a little bit, but production-wise. But that's beside the point. Eric Kendricks is a special, special player, and Minnesota will make the playoffs.
All right. There's your splash rant for the day, I guess we'll call it.
It's like 3 rants now.
You might have convinced me a little bit more to get a little bit higher with that little rant. I like it, bro.
Okay.
Kendricks is a baller, man.
He is. And then I don't think we need to say too much about the offense. I mean, Justin Jefferson, oh my goodness. Dalvin Cook, oh my goodness. Adam Thielen, oh my goodness.
Irv Smith.
Cousins. Yeah.
Kirk, yeah.
I don't know who gets excited about Kirk Cousins, but
he's a little underrated, I think.
Michigan State fans still do.
Yeah.
Let's move on the list. The Detroit Lions.
Boop.
No.
They're going to be more competitive than you're going to think, though.
I think so.
That's my thing. I think people just kind of assume they're a bad team, which granted they are, but they have built their team in such a right way that they're going to have some scrappiness. They're going to be the team that blows up your parlay. Like you're going to take, I don't know, Chicago -6 and Detroit's going to lose by 3. You're going to take Green Bay -10. Detroit's going to keep it within a touchdown. You're going to take Minnesota by 9. Detroit's going to lose by 7. I guarantee it will happen to you at least 4 times, and then you're going to say, I'm never going to bet against the Lions again. And then they're going to get steamrolled the next week by God knows who.
The Jags.
Yeah.
Like
oh, boy.
Some generic
could you
team,
imagine that? If
some
they get
generic team
steamrolled by the Jags.
Okay, they play Baltimore this year. So they play Green Bay week 2. Bet on Detroit. Bet on Detroit spread. And then just back away. Detroit's going to cover the spread. Don't touch it when they play Baltimore because Baltimore has a knack for. I don't think I can say these words on. They will just obliterate, demolish, crush, annihilate. Baltimore. It might get ugly. Baltimore, Detroit, but they're going to cover some random games. Now they're going to get killed a couple games. They're going to win a couple games too, but they're going to get killed a couple games. Baltimore's a prime candidate because Baltimore blows everyone out, except the Chiefs. But yeah, Detroit's going to be an interesting team to watch, either mostly in a good way, but they could get curb stomped a couple times.
They probably will. I just want to say, I know it's preseason, but I do find it a little bit funny how like Detroit people have been talking about how, Brad Holmes agreed to trade for Jared Goff, and like he has like this new swagger about him, is what he's saying, or like there's this new like he's confident that he can be the guy they need. And then I know it's preseason, but when he walks right out onto the field, and then his first drive, his first pass almost gets picked, and it ends with a sack where he's being himself and just being a statue.
Yeah,
it's a bad look. He didn't have a bad game.
Jared Goff.
I heard he did okay, but I mean. And it is just preseason, so take
Jack,
that for
I have a
what that's
question
worth.
for you.
Okay.
Week 3, Ravens, Lions. Or is it week 3? Maybe week 4, whatever. How many interceptions does Jared Goff throw to Marcus Peters?
4.
Okay.
2 to Marcus Peters, 1 to Humphries. He's going to have 3 total picks and 1
He's going to throw 4 total.
Okay. Oh, wow.
To Marcus Peters, I think 2.
Okay.
And I think one of those is a pick 6. The one Marcus Peters.
Oh, man. I would...
if Marcus Peters gets a pick 6 on Jared Goff... He's gonna get like a 30-yard taunting penalty. It's gonna be crazy.
he's gonna be doing the Dion
he's gonna be doing Randy Moss stuff.
Yeah.
Or the Dion, or he
He's gonna do like when you hold, I think, both triggers in Madden, and you like celebrate. It's like yeah for like 70 yards.
70 yards. He's gonna grab somebody's popcorn and shove it in his helmet.
Why? Yeah, he's gonna like reach
while
out
running to the middle
while
of the
he's
field.
on the field. He's gonna like slap all of his teammates' hands. Yeah. He's gonna dab up Michael Brockers on the sideline.
I'm imitating what's his name, Terrell Owens, when like he's gonna run to the middle of the field and just do something.
Yeah, just juju dance the line in the center. We're way off topic. All right, let's keep it rolling.
Carolina Panthers, Sam Darnold. I think I've said enough there. Atlanta Falcons.
I'm higher on the Falcons than most. They're not going to make the playoffs. Let me make it very clear they're not going to make the playoffs. But let me give you some guys to watch out for. Is it Tyler Hennessy, the center? It's either Tyler or Matt. One of them's a punter for the Jets, or had been the punter for the Jets. Then the other one is, I think it's Tyler Hennessy. Hennessy, never stop, never settle. And Atlanta center is not going to stop it. He's not going to settle because Arthur Smith is like Shanahan light. He's going to implement the same sort of systems. And Atlanta has a surprisingly sturdy offensive line. Now, granted, when healthy, but Jake Matthews is pretty good.
It's Matt, by the way, just for the record.
Oh, okay, Matt Hennessy. So you have Jake Matthews, who's pretty good. I think they have a guard from – it's Jalen Mayfield. He's going to move from tackle to guard. I hope he plays left guard. Hennessy, never stop, never settle. Chris Lindstrom is my breakout candidate for the Falcons. And then your right tackle is a former first-round pick in Caleb McGarry. So I think 3 of your spots will work. I have a lot of faith in Hennessy because he is Alex Mack cloned. I promise you, he is Alex Mack. As a prospect, he is Alex Mack. Well, maybe not quite as good as Alex Mack, but all of Alex Mack's, if you like, you know how like video games have archetypes? They are the identical archetype. Mac is better, probably, but Hennessy is the same archetype. They're both spot up shooters. They're both glass cleaners. They are the exact same kind of center, and it's going to be a perfect fit in the Arthur Smith offense. Chris Lindstrom is going to be a beast. He's going to get some all-pro recognition, second-team all-pro. Book it. Jalen Mayfield, Jake Matthews, just solid, sturdy guys on the left side. Caleb McGarry, I genuinely don't know. I tend to be higher on guys, but I don't know with McGarry. Offensively, I love Mike Davis. I love Calvin Ridley. I love Russell Gage, Kyle Pitts, Hayden Hurst. Matt Ryan, can do it. It's like Kirk Cousins, but maybe a little bit up here. Smarter. Is a little like tick better. Cousins probably has a better like arm, but I think Matt Ryan is like a tick better, like processing wise. He's not gonna have some of the dumb throws that Cousins does. Like Cousins' brain flips off for a second. Matt Ryan doesn't do that, but his arm flips. It's more that Breeze. Like when Breeze is making bad decisions, it's not a bad decision. It just doesn't have the zip anymore. So offensively, they're going to be great. Like they might have a top 5 offense. And defensively, I think they will be able to hold it together. After week 4 last year, they had a better scoring defense than Chicago. So boy. I know that's not a great sample size, but you have some stars there. You have Brady Jarrett. You have Deion Jones. You have my guy, Aluakun. The secondary, AJ Terrell is fine. I wish he caught the interception against the Chiefs. He's fine. The secondary is going to be eaten alive, other than Terrell, I would imagine. And I can't think of. Did they grab? Was it Richie Grant? They grabbed a safety early. Because I would have been pounding the table for them to draft Javon Holland at 35, but I think they traded down. Whatever it may be, I believe it's Richie Grant. So I don't know. The Falcons aren't going to make the playoffs, but I think they're better than the Panthers.
They're offensively explosive, I think, regardless. Like I think they're going to be like if you don't want fantasy,
really nice
like take them in fantasy, you could take them in a few spreads because they're going to keep that. Whoever they play on defense. If they're like a bottom tier defense, they're going to get annihilated by that offense. Yeah. But then again, they're going to come back on defense, and it's going to be like a shootout where it's like Atlanta 35, 35 to 30, 28 to 35. Like it's going to be like at least 28. I think they could put at least 21 points on the board every week.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Sure.
I need to see where Richie Grant landed. Richie Grant. What? That's the wrong Richie. How is there 2 Richie Grants? Oh, yep, he's Atlanta.
There's 2 Will Smiths.
Granted.
There's 3 Michael Carters.
They both play on the Jets, and they went to rival schools. That's the funny thing. All right, let's continue.
Cardinals. Okay. Before I give a definitive answer, I'm going to kind of also segue this into the next one, which is the 49ers. I feel like this is going to be the tiebreaker here. I think the 49ers barely edged them out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I feel like the Rams and Seahawks are just going to be going off this year.
I think I would take San Francisco over Seattle. I would take Minnesota over Chicago. Those are my swaps.
Okay. It's just the way I see the NFC West, but I watch them like all year pretty much. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be really close between those two, but I think the 49ers barely get them. The only thing is, I just want to see them stay healthy. Please stay healthy. Don't lose Nick Bosa for a year. Don't lose whoever the heck your starter is going to be for a year.
Don't play at MetLife Stadium.
Pretty much.
And here's the thing. I think I follow where you're coming from, Jack. They're going to beat the Rams anyways, right? Aren't they like 4-0 against the Rams last 2 years?
They're going to go 1-1 against the Rams this year. I think the Rams get them once.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Okay, anyways. So there's a couple like there's axioms in sports. So Aaron Donald is the best pass rusher in general. Darren Waller is tight end 3. Tyreek Hill is the best deep threat in football. The Rams always beat the Cardinals. The Niners always beat the Rams.
I don't make rules.
NFC West. NFC West.
Yeah, that's true.
NFC West.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that one. I say up on the Niners, down on the Cardinals.
Sure. Yeah.
I think
agree.
Up on the Cardinals.
It's going to be very close.
Oh.
Just like with the Cardinals. It's not Kyler.
I would love to finally
really.
Yeah, but I don't know. I have a reputation of being a Kyler hater, which I get, but this is the same thing that people in the chat last week were arguing about with Josh Allen. That he has all these nice stats. it's cool when you show me that he has like X number of total touchdowns, X number of yards, does pass rating of this, does this. Cool. Now, what about in relation to the guys you're comparing him to? Because if you recall, Lamar Jackson, I'm going to use Lamar Jackson as an example with Kyler. Lamar Jackson had 36 touchdowns in 2019, but the general consensus is, red zone, Kyler had 26 this season. Same as Lamar, had like 200 more attempts. Oh, yeah, Kyler's better. Why? Well, he had more rushing. He had more total touchdowns. Okay.
No.
I mean, I would hope he has more total touchdowns when he has 200 more pass attempts. I would hope so. So
he has DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I would hope so there too. And I get it with, well, Josh Allen had 29 touchdowns and he led them to 10 wins and he had all these game-winning drives. I guess rant number 4, game-winning drives are objectively stupid. There are very few contexts that it
I think
works.
you've ranted about this one before.
Yeah, it's just so dumb. So if you're using game-winning drives, right, you are using them in lieu of the first 3 quarters, essentially. So you're telling me that Josh Allen, when you use game-winning drives, you're going to tell me that Josh Allen was better in 2019 than he was in 2020. And you're going to tell me secretly that Josh Allen was better in 2018 than he was in 2020. Why? He had as many game-winning drives and fourth-quarter comebacks in 2018 as he did in 2020, with the caveat that he started only 11 games. And he started 16 in 2020. So you have this issue that when your quarterback is getting better, his game-winning drives go down. Patrick Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks in the history of football. He will never have a year that he has like 15 game-winning drives. Well, no one does that. But he's not going to have a year that he has like 7 or 8 game-winning drives. Why? Because he's too good. Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't have many years that he has like a ton of game-winning drives because he's too good. And even like Matt Stafford, well, he had the year with 8. That means he's really good. No, it means he's not really good. It means he's in that next tier below that he makes a mistake here, a mistake there. And I had a very, very long-winded answer to the guy on YouTube the other day. Josh Allen had 5 games in 2019 that he led a game-winning drive. Sounds impressive, right? Right? 5 of the 10 wins were game-winning drives?
From the outside, yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. He threw an interception in 4 of those games. If he doesn't throw the interception, he probably doesn't need to lead a game-winning drive.
There's no game-winning drive, exactly.
Yeah. So, or even my favorite is, you guys remember the Saints game that Tucker missed an extra point at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. The Saints had a game-winning drive in that game. They scored 5 seconds into the fourth quarter.
And that's your game-winning drive.
Yeah. If they scored 1 play earlier, it's not a game-winning drive. It's not a comeback. It's nothing. It happened. That Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs, Texans, down 24-0, technically not a comeback, technically not a game-winning drive because it happened in the second quarter. So there's such a dumb, people use this so heavily, and it's like, I don't buy it. I don't think it's I think it's more impressive if you play 3 good quarters of football. I think objectively I should be right there. And well, if your defense is good, you will have, depending on how good of a quarterback you are, that changes how many game-winning drives you have. Lamar Jackson's never going to have a ton of game-winning drives because the Ravens are leading, because the Ravens defense is always good. You know,
and Harbaugh always puts him in a position to be good. It's like you're saying, these teams that are good defensively, they have smart coaches that will not put their players in the position to be like, oh, hey, Josh Allen, let's get you 9 out of 16 game-winning drives in a season. That's actually, like you said, that's a bad stat.
You're playing the wrong odds there. I would much rather. It's like when people tell me, "Oh, the Ravens can't come back and win games." All right, how many?
They're never down.
How many teams have come back on the Ravens? Like, no one really.
I wish the Rams in 2019, but no one.
Oh my goodness, that was a humiliation.
The Jackson 5.
Yeah, there's like the Ravens have like one or two losses when they lead at the half, and I think the losses were both Pittsburgh. Something like that, or like fluky, like 1-score game. So whoever gets the ball last, and then they have the one win with losing at the half, and it was against the Colts. So yes, they can't come back from behind, but they don't blow leads. So there's value in both of those things. And when you tell me that, oh yeah, Josh Allen had a better year than say Daniel Jones, who had 24 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, and didn't win anything, but oh yeah, he's better because game-winning drives. Really? Would you want to tell me that
team couldn't hold?
Yeah, you want to tell me that Ryan Tannehill was the best quarterback in the NFL last year? I like Tannehill. I had him in my top 10 for a long time. But he's not the best quarterback in the NFL because he has the most comeback drive or game-winning drives or fourth quarter comebacks. You do realize if Tennessee had any semblance of a defense, they might win more games, but Tannehill doesn't have 6 game-winning drives. You know, it's the same. You look at the Packers. If Aaron Rodgers was a worse quarterback, he would have more game-winning drives but he doesn't put his team in a situation to need one. Now, granted, there are some games that, yes, you do need a game-winning drive because back and forth, say, Ravens Browns, the Monday night game, back and forth. Okay, cool. That required your defense to be awful or the other team to be really, really good. So I don't buy it with game-winning drives because I get why people think they're important, but this is for a long time LeBron wasn't clutch, right? Because he didn't have the iconic moments. He didn't have all the shot make. He actually did in the 2006 and 7 playoffs, but people just forget those. That's fine. Yeah, need to ignore those.
The shot against the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, exactly. MJ had the shot, and the final shot, and had all sorts of clutch moments. So obviously he's more clutch. Okay, well, what if LeBron just plays better the first 47 minutes?
And they don't have to put them in a position to be down by 2 with 10 seconds left to get a 3. Oh, LeBron made a clutch shot. Well, like you said, LeBron was balling all game long.
Yeah. It's like Deshaun Watson led the NFL in fourth quarter passing touchdowns.
Maybe because his team was so bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
how many drives did Brady have last year? I mean, how many game-winning drives was Brady in? How many was Rodgers in? It's like, oh, they had 3. They're not that good. Well, no, they were just put in a position to win. It's like
Philip Rivers had 3 game-winning drives last year. That doesn't mean he's better than Josh Allen. That doesn't mean he's as good as Josh Allen. So I get why people want them to be meaningful, but it's so you're putting yourself in a bad situation. And
it's overrated as a stat.
Yeah, I think it's one of the worst, if not the single worst stat in sports, because at least if you say quarterback wins or pitcher wins, you have to have some level of competence, at least some level of competence. If you have just fourth quarter comebacks, you can throw out most of the competence. You can be objectively bad for all but a drive. You know, you guys remember the Pittsburgh-Miami game that was 3-0 Pittsburgh, Monday Night Football 2007? Game-winning drive. I don't know how the run-pass breakdown was because that influences if it's a game-winning drive or not. But it's, in theory, a game-winning drive because they kicked a field goal with 2 seconds left in a 0-0 game. So, yeah, technically a game-winning drive. Or technically it's a game-winning drive to score the go-ahead touchdown with 14:59 to go. Sorry, Drew Brees. You're an all-time great, but if you had scored one play earlier, it's not a game-winning drive. So, Josh Allen truthers, trust me, I understand, but please don't use game-winning drives as a defense for a player. Just anything else. Touchdown interception ratio. Okay, cool. I think it's flawed. Passing yards. I think it's very flawed, but okay, cool. Passer rating. Cool. Quarter QBR. Cool. PFF grade. Sure, whatever. Total passing touchdowns. Yeah, interceptions. Okay. You don't include fumbles because that's one thing that the Josh Allen truthers didn't include was he lost 4 fumbles. And I know for darn sure that if I mentioned Lamar Jackson, they'd be like, oh, he had fumbles. I was like, come on now. Why are you counting rushing touchdowns but not fumbles? Fumbles lost at least. Okay. There's
all right. That's the rant from Slash. We're pretty much done with thumbs up, thumbs down. You'll notice I changed the banner back. So we should move on.
Yeah. Do you want to touch on preseason studs and duds? My
Let's
hat
do
is
it.
off. Okay. So first of all, shout out to the Ravens. They've won 18 straight preseason games. To put it into perspective, the last time the Ravens lost a preseason game, Calvin Johnson, active NFL player. Peyton Manning, active NFL player.
Patrick Willis, Luke Kuechly, active.
Well, Kuechly retired in 2019, so after 2019. So Andrew Luck, active NFL player.
That's Andrew Luck.
Yeah. So Calvin Johnson and Peyton Manning are in the Hall of Fame. Went from retired to in the Hall of Fame in the span it took for the Ravens to lose a playoff game. Lose a preseason game. So 18 in a row. I don't really know what I'm supposed to gather. I think it's just a cool stat. It's the epitome of a fun but pointless stat. And people are quick to say, "Oh, they always lose in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter." Okay, cool, whatever. So I get it, but I mean, 13 teams lose in the playoffs anyways, so Baltimore's not that special. Anyways, great performance by the defense. 6 total forced turnovers. Geno Stone, not Geno Smith. Geno Stone had 2 picks. One of them was a nice sliding job. So that was exciting. Jameis looked okay for the Saints. Taysom looked okay for the Saints. Ian Book looked. Why didn't you spend a 4th round? I do like Tyson Williams a lot. He's the Baltimore's would be their 3rd running back behind Gus and JK. He could beat out Justice Hill, although I do like Justice Hill as like a gunner type, like a special teamer. So that's exciting. And 18 straight preseason W's. Jack and Stefan, your teams both lost.
Thank you.
What can you? Yeah. What sort of good players, bad players? What do you guys see?
Honestly, what I saw from Brady was usual. It wasn't nothing crazy. It's whatever. Honestly, Joe, he played. I know. I didn't want him to play because we were here. I was at work. I'm looking. I'm like, the weather's terrible. I'm like, do not have this man go out at all. But the defense, even though we didn't lose, Joe Tryon looked really good.
Joe Tryon murdered generic Bengals quarterback. Was it Sherman?
Killed him.
Is it Kyle Sherman?
Know. He's not playing anymore.
Oh, wait. Do you guys remember the clip? It was, I believe, Kenny Young, Ravens linebacker, and Gardner Minshew. You guys remember that?
I don't.
When he wrecked him?
Yes.
He destroyed him.
Joe Tryon did that to generic Bengals quarterback not named Joe. Oh, my goodness. That was one of the clutchest things.
I just got goosebumps.
I need to see this. I'm missing out on something.
Oh my goodness, the memes.
Oh,
I should have seen a meme.
It was beautiful. So I love preseason for just the memes. And football is back. I know your Rams lost, Jack, but what can you tell me about your foray into preseason football?
So the thing that strikes me is going to be it looks like the main battle in the Rams offense right now is for QB3 because the world knows Matt Stafford. He's QB1. He's not going to take a snap. I know, shocker, right? John Wolford going to be QB2. Shocker, not going to take a snap. So it's down to Bryce Perkins and our boy Duck Hodges. The thing is, Bryce Perkins hurdled a guy.
I love it.
The place I want to touch on this. By the way,
I need NFL players to stop hurdling. Najee Harris, why are you hurdling guys? Or was it Najee? He had like 1 year the sideline. Like, why? Come on, it's a preseason game. Why are you hurdling him? I know you're athletic. I get it, but really.
Yeah. Perkins looked a lot more in control than Hodges did. It is only the first week, but there's only 3 opportunities they have. It looks like they're just going to be playing back and forth between the games. Whoever does better, so far I think Perkins is winning this battle, but whoever does better is going to get QB3. The crowd, though, SoFi Stadium is going to be loud. Like, I think it's going to challenge some stadiums in the NFL for, like, I don't want to say, I'm not going to go as far as to say, like, it's going to be Arrowhead Stadium in terms of that record they set. Mm-hmm. It's going to be loud, though, because the sound that fans were making at that hurdle play and at the other big plays at the touchdown the Rams scored, oh boy, I can't wait for week 1.
For sure.
It's so awesome to have fans back, just in general too, like in any stadium, but especially there after their grand opening got ruined. Who's another guy that stuck out? Forgot his name. Justin Lawler on defense. He was a beast. Mm-hmm. He got 2 really good pressures. I think it was Chase Daniel mostly playing QB for the Chargers. He got in there. He almost had a couple sacks. I think the one mistake he made was he had a penalty. I forget which one it was, but he took a penalty on
taunting.
Not a taunting penalty.
I can excuse guys for the taunting penalty because it's kind of stupid.
Yeah, it is pretty stupid, but just mistakes like that that kind of set you back a little bit. A guy I had my eye on was Tutu Atwell. I want him to prove that he's not a waste of a pick. I say that because I wanted the Rams to take Creed Humphrey so bad, and they didn't do it. And it's like another wide receiver. We already have 4. But
I didn't. That was one of the few picks that I genuinely gave an F, maybe a D minus. But that was say you're the Bengals, right? The Jackson Carman pick has been slandered to the end of time. At least it was a position of need. 2 out was that's as far from a position of need.
Not a position of need at all.
Come on,
I was like, I literally was like,
even if you draft a quarterback, which would be dumb, but imagine if they drafted Kyle Trask.
You just traded 2 first-round picks for Matt Stafford, and you're going to take Kyle Trask in the
he was the next quarterback,
round.
and it's like.
At least you guys aren't wasting your first-round picks. At least you're wasting second, third. So the Rams I don't like anyone in the next 5 years. Let's just get rid of our first-round picks and let's go into 2024.
It literally reminds me of the Gridiron Heights gag where Matt Stafford gets traded to LA, and then him and Sean McVay are taking a limo to SoFi Stadium, and they get out of the limo, and Sean McVay's like, "Whoop! I forgot to tip. Here's our 2024 first-round pick."
That's amazing. Speaking of first-round picks,
but hang on, I want to finish 2 out real quick.
Okay.
I think he showed flashes. He did not play that many snaps. I thought he had an electric punt return. It did get called back a little bit because penalty, but that wasn't his fault. He showed the speed that he needed to show. Hopefully he's another deep threat. If D-Jack somehow gets hurt again, then
somehow.
I mean, I don't know.
The second he takes one stride too long and his hamstring just goes, all right, you're done for 2 weeks.
God. Well, that's where he's got to step up then. That's where he's got to step up then, honestly. But I think he showed the speed he needed to show. I want to see a little more out of the offensive line. I feel like if we had a bit of granted, this was our third team offensive line, but if we have a better offensive line, I think Jake Funk will do a lot better. I don't think he did that great. The run game was not that great yesterday, but I think that just comes down to the offensive line being a little weaker than usual.
That's fair. There's some goofiness in the Ravens game because, especially with these I don't want to say Greg Roman's a top offensive coordinator, but this applies to Sean McVay, and I think it applies to Greg Roman that you don't want to show your hands in preseason.
Exactly.
You want to 4th and 1. You're not going to do anything elaborate. You're not going to do Baltimore had a play against Cleveland that was essentially
the broadcasters
with a sweep, but.
The broadcasters were literally saying, just let them run it. There's not going to be that many punts. Just let them run the fourth and short plays because guys need it. Guys need to show what they can do if that situation comes up in an actual game that matters.
For sure.
So
how do you guys feel about Tim Tebow's blocking?
Oh, it was good. Listen. Okay, before we go on a rant, I played offensive lineman. He still made the play that didn't tackle the running back, even though he tackled his own man. The running back was never touched.
Good point.
I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Good point.
It looked terrible though. God awful. What are you doing?
He's doing head first. It's okay.
It's Tebow magic. It's like when he played for the Broncos. Okay, real quick.
Tebow mania was the term, I think.
Remember when Tim Tebow was in Chicago and they were losing that game, and Chicago runs the ball out of bounds 3 times with who was it? Felix Jones, whoever the hell it was. He runs the ball 3 times. I'm like, there's no way Denver comes back and wins this game. Tebow couldn't complete a pass. What happened? Denver wins the game somehow, some way, and I'm over here just how? How?
He had a 90 QBR against Pittsburgh in a playoff game.
But again, Tebow, it just happened. He just happened to make it work, even if it didn't even look pretty. It looked ugly.
Okay.
He somehow made it happen.
Okay, but here's the question: he did that as a QB. Can he do that as a tight end?
Apparently,
with Trevor Lawrence, I don't know.
Who's stopping? Who's stopping him from being that number 1 tight end on that team? Who is better right now?
James O'Shaughnessy is not bad. It's the dumb thing because you value blocking tight ends to some degree, right? If Tebow can't block, there's an issue. So I know he made the block there. I know he made the block. I need to look at his PFF grade. I
look that up. Look that up. You guys reminded me though. I completely forgot to mention Jacob Harris, our tight end. He looked great yesterday as well.
I think UCF.
Yeah, UCF. Was it yesterday? I don't even remember, but he looked incredible. I feel like for a preseason game, like he played very solid. His blocking was crazy. He pretty much did everything he could for me to convince me that he's probably has a shot at TE2 on this roster.
Okay, I like to see it. I'd like to see it. Now some of these Tebow articles on PFF are hilarious. Can Tim Tebow be a top 10 fantasy quarterback?
Oh God,
Tim Tebow is
quarterback.
Yes,
Taysom Hill did it. Because I had him in.
But
fantasy.
he is a quarterback.
One time he was a tight end. No, but I'm saying last year when he had that 1 week where he was the quarterback / tight end for ESPN Fantasy Leagues. I had him in my lineup. I had him in my lineup. 25 free points from your tight end. Yes. He threw 2 touchdowns. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, it's the greatest thing ever.
Now,
if I can get 1 week from that one, Tebow. But you know what, though? If you were there at that time and you utilized it, you were a genius, even though everybody in your fantasy league, mine especially, oh my God, you're so bad. Why would you do that? It's cheating. If it's possible, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and then if you didn't have any injuries or bye weeks at your other positions, you could have kept him there all season. So I had one that was a kind of a lost cause, and I wasn't really in love with Ezekiel Elliott down the stretch of the season. So I'm like, yeah, I'll keep Taysom at tight end. That's fine. All right, I've pulled up Mr. Tim Tebow's. Oh boy, he's not the worst blocker on his team. Oh, wait a minute. He doesn't have any pass blocking reps. He does have some run blocking reps. He was, in fact, the worst run blocker in that game. 42.8 PFF grade. That was just his run. He had a 43.3 offensive grade, 42.8 run blocking grade. It is a true tragedy. He only played 16 snaps, though. He only played 16 snaps.
I mean, yeah.
Did he have any receiving grade? Yo.
0?
Oh, 51.5. Okay. So Tim Tebow has a higher PFF grade than Devin Bush. There's your Steelers slander for the day. All right. Speaking of first round players, I want you guys to do a little quick ranking here. Rank these quarterbacks based only on their preseason week 1 performance. Trevor Lawrence, QB1. Zach Wilson, QB2. Justin Fields, that's not right their order. Trey Lance, QB3. Justin Fields, QB11. And Mac Jones, QB15. Rank them 1 through 5, por favor.
Jack, can I go first?
I'm kind of I really liked. It's gonna be hard to rank them. I didn't see them all. But I did like.
Easily if you want.
Yeah, I am very passionate about my.
I was not prepared. Clearly.
Wow, Jack.
Gotta watch more preseason football.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this all week.
I mean, can we talk about Trey Lance's bomb though? Oh my God, that was pretty.
That was the best throw of the weekend.
Absolutely.
I think we can all agree on that one. Best throw of the weekend. Yeah.
Trey Lance.
Good job, Trey Lance.
From what I saw, it felt like Trevor Lawrence had the most decent understanding of how the offense worked, I'd say, if you know what I mean. It felt like Fields did struggle a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know how I'd translate that into a top 5 ranking, but that's just based on those are just my observations that I saw.
All right. So, Stefan, let's do a little game here. I'm going to count down from 3, and we're going to say who our number 5 quarterback was. So worst quarterback performance. Here we go. 3, 2.
I should do it.
1.
Trey Lance.
Yes.
Okay, Trey Lance.
Okay. Niners fans, he threw 2 passes that should have been intercepted. He fumbled once. I get that he had the gorgeous throw, and I get that your receivers dropped passes, but he threw 2 passes to Kansas City Chiefs and had a fumble. You can't be awesome when you have 3 turnovers. Like, it's not 3 turnovers, but 3 plays that should have been turnovers. All right.
Okay. Number 4. 3, 2, 1.
Trevor Lawrence.
You guys literally shared these rankings.
Okay.
I swear I didn't talk to him since.
See, the thing with Lawrence versus the number 3 quarterback, is Lawrence did have the fumble early on the first snap. Now, it's not his fault that he got hit, but it is his fault he lost the fumble. He didn't lose the fumble, but he fumbled. He recovered it. So that's good. And then
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, Jack's fans were like, well, yeah,
help, though.
Yeah, that's true, but the offensive line can't control Lawrence fumbling. They can control him getting drilled. They can't control him fumbling. And then you say, well, yeah, but he got the first down on that drive. Well, Laviska Shenault had like 10 yards of yak. So then he made a nice throw.
He's going to do the truth.
Yeah, I love Viska. So, yes, Lawrence made some good throws. The fumble on the first snap is not ideal. He had a couple miscues. He was overall okay. It was like below average, but it was like fine. It was like a passable couple series. All right, number 3. 3, 2, 1. Justin Fields.
Zach Wilson.
Oh,
ooh, okay. Here's my Fields thing. Like Lance and like Lawrence, he put the ball in harm's way. I think he had 2 turnover-worthy plays. He had 1 fumble that he lost and 1 ball that I believe should have been just pick-sixed. But regardless, he was good. After the first little bit, he wasn't moving the ball against the number 1 offense. And even the number 2 offense, he was struggling with the football. I don't think they had a first down for a while. They were shut out in the first half, if I remember correctly. Although, granted, some of that was Dalton. And in the second half, he is awesome. Pretty solid. It's just you have to observe the whole picture with the quarterbacks. I get that he did this nice and this nice and this nice and this nice, but you also have to acknowledge the things he did poorly. And I'll go back to Lance for a second. I'm not bashing Trey Lance. I'm just saying he had a couple bad throws. He had some really nice throws. He had the third drop was like an out route, beautiful throw, just right through the hands of generic player not named Kendricks because he's on the Patriots. He had the beautiful dime down the field to Sheriff Field. That was nice. He had a couple other throws that were dropped, but they were not check downs, but like 3rd and 8, 6-yard throws. Come on, you got to do a little bit more than that. But Lance was meh, and then I would say Lawrence was like slightly below average, and then Fields, I would say, trended up, which is good. That's good. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't love the performance from minute 0 to minute 60. So tell us why Zach Wilson's there in 3rd.
So, like I said, I'm not trashing any of these quarterbacks. I'm just from what I've seen, Zach Wilson looks like he's ready to take the offense. It just looks like he's going to take maybe a few weeks to get to the point where they want him to. He looked ready. He looked like he deserves to be on that team more than Trey Lance deserved to be on the Niners and say Trevor Lawrence. But of course, it's the first game.
Yeah.
If you have Zach Wilson playing next game, of course I'm going to look at it. I just think the Jets perfect fit for him. I just think he could have done maybe a little bit more, but he did look like fair. he felt like he was in control of the team. Like the team is it. That's his team now. He's the quarterback. He's the guy they want, and he's got the swagger. I just feel like I want to see a little bit more before we go into week 1. Like I said, nothing to bash him. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying this list doesn't mean that he's the worst. I just think from what I saw, I want a little bit more, and I want to see some situations where he can deliver the ball when he has to in tight windows. I want like a 4th down play where see what he can do. I want some more out of him before week 1.
That's fair.
Not
fair.
bad. I like him though. So.
Yeah. I mean, I thought number 2 quarterback. 3, 2, 1. Zach Wilson.
Justin Fields.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I think Wilson had a very solid game. He didn't screw anything up. He wasn't overly spectacular, but it was like that Kirk Cousins game. Like everything was textbook. Everything was, he checked off the boxes. He just
exactly
made a nice solid mark through. Justin Fields may have had some big old check marks through a couple boxes, but he left some boxes blank. Trey Lance, you're hitting just defensive backs in stride. Then I guess both of us agree, Mac Jones, quarterback 1. So congratulations, New England. You won round 1 of 20 this season. Mac Jones looked good.
I actually did see a little bit of Mac Jones. I think he looked fine.
I think he had the second best throw of the rookies. He had 1 ball down the left sideline. Maybe Aguilar? Was Aguilar?
I don't remember.
I think it was Myers.
It was a gorgeous throw, though.
Yeah, it was like drops it in the bucket, 30 yards, big time throw, and incomplete.
I'm going to bearish bomb it really quickly with this one.
Ooh, should we go full screen for him?
Here, we'll do this.
And then,
Oh wait, someone's
So-
coming up. Hold up. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Full screen, baby. Let's hear
so
it.
Mac Jones looked the par. Cam Newton did not look like he knew what he was doing. The way I see Cam Newton on that field, on that ball, he's just chucking the rock. Mac Jones looks poised. He looks like the system quarterback that Bill Belichick was looking for. He was delivering the balls. He was making smarter decisions. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't. But week one, for Bill Belichick to come out and say, we don't even know who we're starting yet, it goes to my fact I said weeks ago, Mac Jones will be the guy, if not in 5 weeks, in week one. He looks like he's ready. He's polished enough for Bill Belichick's system. The receivers could be better, yes. The running back could be better, yes. But from what he has and what he's going to give them is a chance to win and a chance to go to the playoffs because he is the systematically good quarterback Bill Belichick wants. And mentally, he's got the brain that he's looking for to make the decisions, the throws, the checkdowns, anything that you want. Bill Belichick will mold this guy into what he needs to lead this team to the playoffs over Cam Newton. Is it week one? I don't know. Is it week 3 or 4? Every week that you see Cam Newton, I feel like he's not going to be what Mac Jones is. And the second Mac Jones is handed the keys to the Ferrari, maybe like an Aston Martin a little bit, he's going to have.
Aston Martin's a nice car.
That's a really nice car.
Maybe like a Toyota
Challenger.
Corolla.
Oh, we'll go to Corolla. But like that defense,
Prius.
That defense is rebuilt. Belichick built that defense back. So I think Cam Newton I like him. I'm not slandering him. I just don't see it. I just don't see Cam Newton of old age. And I see Mac Jones as the guy who is going to follow Belichick's direction, take his P's and Q's, and he's going to deliver what he needs by the end of the season.
Okay. I don't hate what you're saying. I do think okay. I will acknowledge that Mac Jones has a really high floor. But at the same time, Cam has a subtly different floor, but I think it's a little bit higher. I think Mac, ironically enough, has a higher ceiling because I think he has more, I don't want to say arm talent, but, and I don't even want to say it's unquantifiable, but Cam can hit deep throws, can hit those throws, but can hit. Mac Jones will hit those throws. I'm not saying he's going to be like bing, 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 bing. Mac Jones will hit those throws. Cam Newton can hit those throws. So the inflection in my voice is the difference between the ceilings, I think. I think with Newton has a floor of rushing. We've seen it with Allen. We've seen it with Kyler. We've seen it with Lamar. We're going to see it with Fields. We're going to see it with Lance. We're going to see it with Hurts. There is a floor that you bring when the quarterback is a number in the run game that makes Damian Harris better, that makes the offensive line better, and says, hey, defense, screw you. I can run the football. And I think that's incredibly valuable. And we've seen the Ravens romp to 3,000 yards twice. We've seen Kyler have a lot of success. We've seen Josh Allen go to the AFC title game. Granted, Allen's a little bit different, but again, rushing threat is there, especially in the red zone. Cam had 12 rushing touchdowns last year. So I agree, but with the weapons, I don't think the passing weapons I don't think there's enough upside with the passing weapons to make Mac Jones the worthwhile pick.
That's
the
fair. Strength
of the New England team, in all honesty, with a really good defense, might be the offensive line. Isaiah Wynn is good. Mike Owenwu is good. David Andrews is fine. Shaq Mason is good. And Trent Brown is good. You have who's the worst player on that offensive line? David Andrews, a league average center. Okay. Mike Owenwu, who was awesome last year. Okay. Isaiah Wynn. Oh, he's a former first-round pick. He's made it work. Okay. Shaq Mason. Oh, he's awesome. Well, if Shaq Mason is your weak link, if Trent Brown is your weak link, that's a really good offensive line. I think I underrated them a little bit in my deep dive, but Cam, I think, plays to more of the skill set you want with that current offense. And I really like the idea of them going to more of a throwbacky sort of style. You have a lot of multiple tight ends, maybe even 3 tight ends, 4 tight ends.
Oh, geez, that's going to be fun.
I am talking leather helmets, baby.
Oh, boy. Could you imagine?
We're going to run the wishbone in 2020. Anyways, I do think Cam's skill set.
2021.
Yeah, I know, but Cam's skill set matches more to what the personnel does. Mac Jones might be a better quarterback. That's remained to be seen, but I think Cam matches. It's like if you swapped Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson in Baltimore, the weapons aren't meant for Deshaun Watson. They're meant for Lamar Jackson. Yeah. So if you Cam, I think is the better fit here because he trusts tight ends. We've seen him with Greg Olsen. Olsen was awesome for like half a decade, and Cam was delivering him passes. And Jonnu Smith, I think, Stefan, you're a big Jonnu guy, right?
Loved him in fantasy last year. He's yeah.
Okay, Jonnu Smith. Hunter Henry might be a better player, but Jonnu Smith will be overall difference maker in this offense. And I know I picked.
He can rush the ball too.
Yeah, he is like essentially the Aaron Hernandez in this group, and
he's gonna kill it.
We've now. Okay. With that said, Jonnu Smith is going to be gnarly. I'm talking 3rd and 4s. He's getting the 4. He's getting 44.
Shuffle pass.
Oh my! Oh, I'm excited. I'm weirdly excited. Like, granted, I am a Ravens fan, so I do like running the ball. But the New England game, I'm very excited to see Jonnu Smith with the ball in his hands. I'm very excited to see, and then even like Aguilar, his skill set has like nothing to do with Cam Newton, but the existence of Nelson Aguilar helps the offense. It's like Marquise Brown in Baltimore. It's like really any deep threat, even if you don't have the quarterback that can consistently hit them. Lamar Jackson can hit a deep ball. Cam can hit a deep ball. So you have to look at Aguilar and say, he could get open. He's probably going to get open, actually. Cam could hit him. I don't want to give up a 75-yard touchdown. So we're going to have to like send some gravity towards him. You know, he has that. It's like, say, Tyreek Hill has a gravitational pull like of several planets, but Aguilar is like a moon. But that moon is a player, and that player is going to be out of position, and Cam Newton can run it down your throat, or Damian Harris is going to be a top 10 fantasy running back. So, you
never know with Cam, though. I know, I like it. I think Damian Harris, I think with Damian Harris with Cam Newton, yes, because like you said, Cam Newton might not be the scariest passer, but you don't know when he's going to run the ball. You never like if he can better disguise it. That's the one knock I have. It's like last year watching him, you knew when he was in the pass, okay, Cam's passing, flare out. But when he ran the ball, you couldn't stop him. So he can distinguish the difference between hiding the run play and hiding what play is going to be a pass play, the read option, like the Colin Kaepernick year, the Wilson year, where that read option killed everybody, killed them. If you can do that, then I'm not knocking Cam. Exactly. I'm not saying Cam's bad. I just think that it just looked when Mac Jones was making those passes, it looked smooth. It looked like
that's fair.
It looked good.
Yeah, Cam looked really good. Granted, Washington for most of their first team out there. I know Chase Young strip sacked him, and then Cam had some. Oh, I thought he was going to be bigger. It's like I get what you're trying for, but he strip sacked you, dog. So I don't know about that.
I don't think how big he is matters if he strip sacks you.
And the receivers aren't like tier 1; they're barely tier 2. To be with all due respect, Nelson Aguilar had nice seasons.
They're tier
3 or 4, right? Okay, so like you have tier 3 awful players.
Aguilar was really good with Vegas. Like it's one of those. If you told someone heading into the season that Nelson Aguilar would be, I don't want to say the best. Actually, he was the best receiver on the Raiders team. If you told someone going into the season, yeah, Nelson Aguilar is going to be like a real NFL player this season, and you're like, what? No, Derek Carr doesn't hit the. Derek Carr was hitting deep balls at Nelson Aguilar
against Miami. What did he do? What did he do against Miami that
80-yard tutty?
Like, this man is like fine wine. He's getting better with every year.
Well, granted, I don't think Philly used him right. Vegas at least knew what he was. I think New England knows what he is. I don't think New England's going to be able.
Philly with Carson Wentz?
Yes, he was.
Oh boy.
What are these? He used to drop the baby.
By the way,
yeah.
I know this is on a completely different topic, but speaking of Carson Wentz, his replacement, our boy Jacob Eason.
Yes, hallelujah.
Eason.
Oh boy,
God is good, ladies and gentlemen.
Jacob Eason.
94 PFF grade.
94. Right? I want to find it really quick. It's a 94.5, the highest graded QB in the preseason so far by PFF.
Can I change my rankings now? Can I put Easton at 1 and everyone else just one notch down?
Oh, Easton isn't a rookie.
He's not a rookie.
You
Those
know
are
what?
rookies.
My first time seeing him.
Yeah, good point. Good point. First time seeing Jordan Love too. Jordan Love, although Love did get injured, so hopefully, quick recoveries to Love and quick recoveries to all of our voices because we've been rambling for 90 minutes now. So, with that said, thank you guys for watching this show. You have anything else? I don't mean to cut you guys off. Anything else you want to touch on?
The Dodgers are insane still.
The Braves are in first place. Yay!
I'll say this:
so happy.
The Dodgers City Connect jersey got leaked. It does not look atrocious, which thank God, because we've seen some of them. Oh boy, the Giants. Oh boy.
I think I've only seen a couple. I liked the White Sox. Oh, the White Sox one was ice.
Yeah, that one was clean.
I want to buy a White Sox Field of Dreams jersey. I feel like it just.
Oh yes.
I'll say this:
Shoeless Jackson should be in the Hall of Fame.
The Dodgers one has black on it too. It's a nice blue. It's a blue jersey, but it has some black on it. It says "Los Dodgers" on it on the front. They didn't try to do anything too crazy, as far as I know. I haven't seen the full thing yet, but as far as the leak goes, it does look good. So
okay, I could see it. All right, anything, Stefan? Any final points?
Well, we got preseason week 2 coming up, so I'm just getting ready for week 1. I just want to see it.
Excited! I'm
also
so
real
excited
quick
for football.
I want to touch that
right
Justin
around the
Fields
corner.
thing. Justin Fields, although he played against, I'm getting a lot of heat on my Twitter account right now from this. Yes, he played against backups. He started out slow. I like what I'm seeing though. I like the attitude. So like, I'm just hoping that what you say.
Slow. That was funny. I saw a PFF thing and they're like, yeah, he's going to be an Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson kind of passer. It's fine, which I actually makes sense.
I can see it.
He was, I think I touched on it maybe a couple shows ago, maybe the Steelers show, that like if Lamar Jackson's all the way at the top of like average time to throw and Ben Roethlisberger is all the way at the bottom, Justin Fields is going to be near the top. He might not beat out Lamar because Lamar has some really has some plays that like really skew it. Like when he's like against the Patriots, like running around. Justin Fields might be at that 2.9 seconds, 3 seconds, over 3 seconds, that sort of thing, average snap to pass. So I'm really excited for all of them. Like, I know I had some, I guess, not nice things to say about Trey Lance, but hey, I'm excited to see Trey Lance. I hope he starts week 1.
Yeah.
We're not hating.
We mentioned his throw at least. At the very least, his throw was
a nice
pretty.
It
was very
nice
pretty.
Throw. Great to see what, and it was from he was outside the left hash and he was throwing it all the way across and he actually like set his feet and like
80 yards too. Yeah. Oh,
I forget. Oh,
he's
I forget
gonna be
who
nice.
I was talking to, but it was Luke. Luke from Play Like a Jet. Shout out to Play Like a Jet. He mentioned that there were some clips of Lance that he was like trying, not like thinking, don't hitch, and you can see his arm start to hitch. He's like, stop, and then he's just like kind of like half arms. It's like, okay, so there are some mechanical things that Lance needs to fix. But yeah,
he's a rookie. It's gonna come with time.
It's gonna happen with all of
week
them.
1. Please start in week 1. You're playing Detroit.
I think all these guys should start week 1 outside the main guys that that are starting. I think it's a good draft class. I believe, honestly, quarterback wise.
I mean,
it is. It looks like a really solid draft class this year.
Look, I would rather see Cam start, but I get why you would want to see Matt. I'm not gonna like bash it either way.
Yeah. And I won't bash at Cam because I like him. He's better and give him the respect he needs to start at least. That's why I said week 5. I'm still going to hold week 5. I want week 1. As a football guy, I say week 5.
Okay. Well, with that said, make sure you guys like the stream. Thank you for tuning in to 90 minutes of us.
Thank you for any of the super chats that we're going to get. This is a pre-recording, so we didn't get to any hot takes, but thank you guys anyway.
Yeah, so much love out there. So like the stream, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to go full screen for this. Hey guys, so you know how you all loved my power rankings like last week and I thought they were awful, but you guys I guess like them. I'll be doing my top 100, all 100 of them. I'm thinking about doing it all in one supercut. I could cut it up in like bits of 5, bits of 10, whatever it may be. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a banger.
Don't show us either. I want a genuine reaction.
Okay, we can do that. So again, make sure you like the stream, subscribe to the channel. I got some banger content coming up. These guys have some banger content coming up. We have some Dolphin shows, Jet shows, fantasy football is on the horizon, ladies and gentlemen. I was in a call the other night.
Get promo the fantasy kit.
I wish we had one.
We worked hard, Javier. Killed it.
Shout out to Javi, my man Javi. Shout out. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram at UStadium on both. If you love our content, you can send us super chats, super stickers, and if you'd like to donate to us on Venmo, you can shoot a message at _1 and say, "Hey, shout out to the Sports Desk guys. Here's $10 or $5 or $1.99."
However many.
I don't.
You think we're
you know
worth.
what? A penny is totally cool.
Yep.
Totally cool. So
Totally fun. We appreciate
as
every
always,
cent.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for putting money in my pocket so I can go waste it on sports bets. Just kidding, because I don't have any money right now, but that's fine. With that said, thank you guys for watching. And with that,
Remember,
Aaron
Donald
Donald trades
with 9.
No.